Welcome, everybody, to CPS News, the news that speaks your language. And, of course, it's Monday night at 7 p.m. if you're watching us. And I hope you're staying dry, because a lot of people in Vallarta right now are not staying dry. And I hope you're doing okay. How's it going?
I'm doing fine. Lots of heat, lots of humidity, but also lots of water. And that's exactly what we needed here in Puerto Vallarta. So hopefully you're enjoying it. And thank you for being here tonight. We have a lot of important and interesting information. So stay with us. It's just 1 hour.
It's a good idea, and you can handle it for 1 hour, I promise you. But first up, let's give you a little peek of what we're going to be talking about tonight with the headlines. Let's go.
Torrential rain slammed Puerto Vallarta again, prompting flood warnings and street flooding across the bay. Nuevo Nayarit unveils new landmark signs, cementing its name change nearly 3 years later. Jalisco heads to NYC Pride following Puerto Vallarta's trailblazing role in international LGBTQ+ representation. Legal living in Mexico, Des with a Z, join us to break down how foreigners can live and work here legally. Surfing glory, Bahía de Banderas makes waves with 17 medals at the 2025 National Olympics. Voices of Vallarta claim the Chef Memo Wolf talks art community and the launch of the Versailles Art Walk this summer. All that and more only on CPS News, the news that speaks your language.
In our first story tonight, last week Puerto Vallarta was hit by another powerful storm, which was even stronger than the one 2 days before. Lightning lit up the sky, wind gusts and howled through the streets, and heavy rain flooded several key roads across the city. Francisco Villa Avenue was among the hardest hit like usual, especially near Morelia Street, a spot that often floods. Avenida Mexico, near Poetas, many parts of the main city and access road were well underwater. For example, in the Diaz Ordaz neighborhood, the newly redone lateral by the Eames Hospital flooded fast, causing damage to several local businesses as water poured into their shops. Out by the beach, things stayed mostly calm. Ocean swells were moderate and did not pose a threat to tourists or residential areas along the shoreline. According to the National Meteorological Service, Tropical Storm Delilah off the Pacific coast, along with the high ocean humidity and low pressure systems, triggered the storm. It's part of a larger weather pattern affecting Jalisco, Colima, Michoacan, and Nayarit. More strong rain and wind and high surf are still in the forecast, so watch out. Vallarta Civil Protection Team issued a warning asking people to stay indoors unless necessary and to avoid driving or walking through the flooded zones. Thankfully, no serious injuries or major property damage have been reported, but rain is expected to continue on and off, and authorities are keeping a close watch on vulnerable areas all around the bay. Thank you so much for Guadalupe Arce for our first story tonight.
Thanks, Brent. Try and keep it dry. Next up, it may be called the Nuevo Nayarit now, but not everyone is sold on the new look. This week, the state government unveiled new signage and design elements to reinforce the name change. But some locals say the makeover misses the mark. Let's hear Joe with the details.
Nearly 3 years after the official name change, the state government of Nayarit has unveiled a new visual identity for the tourist destination once known as Nuevo Vallarta. This week, bright orange and blue letters spelling Nuevo Nayarit were installed at the main roundabout leading into the nautical development. The new signage features a stylized aqua-colored whale tail and sits on a decorative gray wall. Arch structures in white and blue now frame the area, echoing the state's efforts to solidify the new name and brand. A similar makeover was made to the second entrance along Boulevard Nuevo Vallarta, part of the state's strategy to distinguish Nuevo Nayarit as a standalone destination, separate from neighboring Puerto Vallarta. But not everyone's on board. Residents and business owners have expressed dissatisfaction, saying the new design doesn't reflect the destination's original identity. Some have even described the look as more fitting for a low-end beach resort. As the state moves forward with its rebranding campaign, the debate continues over what truly represents the spirit of this beloved tourist zone. With information from Israel Torres, Joe Wasik, CPS News.
Okay, we're going to for sure keep an eye on that story, as I know, based on viewer comments, that y'all in Nayarit are very protective of the newer Nuevo Nayarit name, especially when we accidentally call it Nuevo Vallarta. Sorry. Okay, moving on. A historic building near the Malecon is coming down. Not everyone is happy about it. City officials say that the demolition is legal, but some locals worry that the modern development is chipping away at the city's identity. Let's hear more from Maria.
This week, demolition crews began tearing down a building of architectural value at the corner of Hidalgo and Aldama, just 3 blocks from the iconic Malecon and on the popular route to the Mirador de la Cruz. What makes this especially controversial is that the building sits within the legally protected historic center, designated in 2018 as Cultural Heritage of the state of Jalisco. Despite the building's location inside this protected zone, the city's director of urban planning, Jorge Alberto Balderas Betancourt, confirmed that 2 permits were granted, one for demolition and another to construct a 4-story building with commercial space, rental units, and a penthouse. Balderas emphasized that the necessary cultural approvals were in place, including authorization from Guadalupe Basulto, director of the Instituto Vallartense de Cultura. He stated, "We don't grant permits without the green light from Heritage and Culture. It's basic and mandatory." Still, many locals are concerned. In 2018, Puerto Vallarta's historic core was declared a protected area by state decree, precisely to preserve its architectural identity. Any change within this zone must be reviewed by the Jalisco Secretariat of Culture and the Citizens Council of the Historic Center. As modern development continues, so does the question, what is the true cost of losing pieces of Puerto Vallarta's soul? With information from Miguel Gonzalez Guerra, Maria Ammerman, CPS News.
Thanks, Maria. Next up, concerns have surfaced about Red Cross services in Puerto Vallarta, prompting a public response from state officials. Now a review is in motion, and the spotlight is on how the organization handles emergency care.
Following a recent report published on June 17, 2025, alleging improper charges by Red Cross paramedics in Puerto Vallarta, the Jalisco State Delegation of the Mexican Red Cross has issued an official statement reaffirming its commitment to transparency, humanitarian values, and community trust. The Red Cross emphasized that it is a nonprofit humanitarian organization guided by the fundamental principles of the International Red Cross movement. In response to the allegations, an internal review is now underway, and a direct phone line has been established to receive citizen reports regarding any irregularities. The statement also clarified that emergency medical attention provided in public spaces is completely free, and that any transportation of patients is conducted in strict accordance with official guidelines, always respecting the patient's right to choose their preferred hospital. In recent weeks, the Jalisco delegation took over operational and administrative coordination of the Puerto Vallarta office. As part of a wider reorganization, several improvements have already been implemented: delivery of 2 new ambulances, facility renovations, salary increases and enhanced staff benefits, acquisition of new medical equipment, internal management restructuring, and ongoing training for paramedics and staff. Citizens are encouraged to report concerns or share experiences by calling 33-3942-5380, extension 2101, or by scanning the QR code available for a satisfaction survey. The Mexican Red Cross Jalisco delegation expressed gratitude for the public's trust and reiterated its dedication to upholding the highest ethical, operational, and humanitarian standards. With information from Guadalupe Arce, Joe Wasik, CPS News.
All right, and now a word from our sponsor, Cerámicas Exclusivas. June is here, and we can still celebrate the fathers who build, protect, and inspire. But what's a better way to honor Dad than by upgrading the place he calls home? Well, at Cerámicas Exclusivas, you will find everything to help create a space that reflects his strength, style, and good taste, from elegant flooring and modern bathrooms to those special touches that make a house feel uniquely his. Whether he's dreaming of a relaxing outdoor area or a bold new look for his favorite room, Cerámicas Exclusivas has what you need to bring his vision to life. Stop by Calle Federación 390 in Ixtapa, Puerto Vallarta, or start exploring today at ceramicasexclusivas.com.
So in our next story tonight, more water issues in our area, believe it or not. This time it's in the Versailles neighborhood, as frustration is again boiling over. A persistent water leak on Berna Street between Berlin and Lucerna has been unrepaired for months, and neighbors say CPS Vallarta continues to ignore the report. Residents claim they have filed multiple complaints with no response. Some have turned to social media, calling out the inaction and warning that the situation is only getting worse. The leak is wasting potable water at a time when shortages are already hitting other parts of the city. With rainy season here, there's a growing concern that the issue will be pushed aside yet again, just like in previous years. Locals are now calling on CPS and city officials to step in and fix the problem and show they are serious about protecting the city's water supply.
And with that, we're going to go on a quick commercial break, but I really want to back up a little bit. I think we've gotten into a lot of interesting topics here. One of them is the changing of the name of Nuevo Vallarta to Nuevo Nayarit. I just wondering, how do you feel about this? Are you one of those protective of the name, protectors of the name, or are you okay with whatever? I think there's a lot more to it because maybe later on you'll have to change your ID to where it says, Nuevo Nayarit, and you have to do a lot of, paperwork and things like that. Maybe even with your house or your condo or, your car papers. You haven't thought about that one, right?
You wanted it, you got it. Trust me, when we mess it up, we hear about it. So we're going to be really careful that it's Nuevo Nayarit. But it comes with some interesting consequences, and we do look forward to hearing from you guys. And maybe put a comment on YouTube or send us a comment and tell us what you think about it, especially if you live up there.
Yes. But right now, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, more information. Stay with us.
Welcome back, everybody, to the show today. And now we're going to talk about something a lot of our viewers have been wondering about, not only now, but for years, how to legally live and work in Mexico as a foreigner.
That's right. It's one thing to fall in love with Mexico, but it's another to figure out how to stay here legally. And let's be real, TikTok and Facebook groups are not giving the full picture. So that's why we brought Des from My Destination, Puerto Vallarta's go-to relocation expert, here to explain the rules and bust the myths about working aboard in Mexico. Des, how are you doing today? Thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's so good to see you both. How's everything going?
Wet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And humid.
We need to practice that.
All together now.
Yes, it's been a little rainy, but it's still a great, amazing place. I know a lot of people want to come here, and luckily they've got you to help them.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Actually, rainy season's my favorite time of the year, so I totally get it. But, I thank you again, both of you guys. I love to be here. And this is a really, really important topic to talk about with our clients today because it's a very, very misunderstood topic that I see people confused about every single day. So let's break it down. If you are earning income from people at Mexican companies in Mexico, it's considered Mexican-sourced income. Even if you're doing yoga classes, photography, coaching, or Airbnb experiences, it's considered income. And if you're on a tourist visa, that's not allowed, and it can bring major consequences with the immigration. You need one of two things to work here legally: temporary or permanent residency plus permission to work, or start a Mexican corporation where you can legally hire yourself. Even if you're just side hustling, selling in pesos, coaching expats, or getting paid by locals, that still counts. No matter how small the hustle, it's Mexican income. And SAT, Mexico's IRS, does not mess around. Now, here's where most people get confused. If you're only working remotely for a foreign company, that's totally legal. If you're retired and living off passive income or a pension, that's also legal. But if you're coaching a client here, hosting a class, even a one-off gig for tourists, that's not allowed unless you're registered with the SAT, have an RFC, and file taxes. Now, let's talk about taxes for a second because I know this really stresses out a lot of people. If your income is 100% foreign, you might not owe taxes in Mexico, but you still have to report it back in your home country. If your income is Mexican sourced, even partially, you must register with the SAT, get an RFC, that's your Mexican tax ID, and file taxes monthly and annually. If that sounds overwhelming, it's because it is. That's why I do what I do. In my one-on-one consultations, I help you choose the right residency path, build a sustainable legal income plan, connect with trusted attorneys and accountants so that you can have the peace of mind with profit and integrity. Skipping these steps could cost you way more later on in fines, visa cancellations, or even deportation. My goal is not to scare anyone. My goal is to help you move to Mexico the right way, the easy way, but also the legal way. Whether you're a remote worker, a digital nomad, a retiree, or someone starting over, there's a way to make this work for you without risking everything you came here to build.
Well, thank you so much, Des. So tell us where we can find more information about you.
Well, you guys can always find me on my website at www.mydestination.com, and that's destination with a Z because I'm your girl Des. You can book a one-on-one relocation consultation, get my free Mexico relocation and identity transformation checklist, or explore my full VIP packages and legal guidance for moving to Mexico the right way. And don't forget to follow me at My Destination on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or join my Move to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, the Easy Way group on Facebook for more tips and insider insights.
Well, thank you so much, Des. You always bring clarity to the chaos. We'll see you next time with more tools, stories, and expert advice to help you design your dream life in Mexico. Now, we're moving on with more news tonight, and Joe has our next story.
As hurricane season approaches, the Civil Protection and Fire Department of Bahía de Banderas has announced the preparation of 22 temporary shelters across the municipality as part of their emergency response protocol. These shelters are strategically located in communities such as Bahía de Banderas, San Juan, El Colomo, Aguamilpa, San Jose del Valle, El Porvenir, San Vicente, Mezcales, Nuevo Vallarta, Bucerías, La Cruz de Juanacaxtla, Punta de Mita, and Lo de Marcos. Authorities emphasize that the shelters will only be activated in the event of a real threat to the population, such as river overflow, landslides, or fallen trees in high-risk zones. The Municipal Civil Protection Unit remains on high alert with their emergency council in permanent session. Teams are conducting constant surveillance and monitoring of rivers, mountain roads, and rural areas. So far, no shelters have been activated, but officials urge residents to stay informed and be prepared in case weather conditions worsen. With information from Israel Torres, Joe Wasik, CPS News.
So that story is especially important if you are new to our area. So keep tuning in as we cover hurricanes and what you can do to be more prepared here. And it's also great that we have more shelters out there that we hopefully don't need this year. Now, it's time for Maria again with a disturbing story that had to be terrifying for some local residents.
Severe weather continues to take a toll on Puerto Vallarta. On Tuesday night, heavy rain triggered a landslide that caused a wall to collapse in the Fraccionamiento Gastronómicos, a residential complex located above the main tunnel on the Libramiento, between the Cinco de Diciembre and El Coloso neighborhoods. Around 11 p.m., residents were startled by a loud crash during a steady downpour. Just moments earlier, power had gone out in the area. When electricity returned, neighbors discovered a large retaining wall had crumbled, damaging the main water line and causing a major leak. The resulting mix of stormwater and mud flooded at least one apartment in Tower H. Residents spent a long night dealing with the aftermath. Early Wednesday morning, Sayapal, the city's water utility, arrived on the scene to assess the damage and begin urgent repairs. The water line break left approximately 100 apartments without service, prompting a rapid response to restore water to the affected buildings as quickly as possible. As Puerto Vallarta faces more intense storms this season, concerns grow about hillside stability and infrastructure resilience. With information from Miguel Gonzalez Guerra, Maria Ammerman, CPS News.
Wow, how scary. And hopefully those residents, have water service now. But anyways, we're going to go to another word from a sponsor now, and this time it's Katrina Cantina.
Fun times at La Katrina, always. So now moving on with the news, another rooftop palapa fire happened again last week. If you've been keeping up, we've had quite a few lately. And this time it was in San Pancho, and Rodrigo has the details.
A dramatic fire broke out Wednesday afternoon in San Francisco, San Pancho, Bahía de Banderas, completely destroying a rooftop palapa at a lodging on Cuba Street. The place, which ignited under unknown circumstances, rapidly consumed the wood and palm structure in just minutes, sending a thick column of smoke into the sky and alarming nearby residents and passers-by. Emergency responders quickly mobilized. Firefighters, assisted by a water tanker, arrived on scene and worked swiftly to contain the flames, preventing the fire from spreading to other parts of the building. Fortunately, no injuries were reported, as the room beneath the palapa was unoccupied at the time. However, officials confirmed that the structure was a total loss, reduced to ashes by the time the fire was extinguished. The cause remains under investigation. With information from Israel Torres, Rodrigo López de Cerril, CPS News.
Wow, that was a lot of smoke. I'm glad everyone was okay. Now, in our next story, cancer patients in Puerto Vallarta are facing a critical medicine shortage at IMSS Clinic number 42. Frustrated groups are demanding urgent action as treatment delays put lives at risk. Here's Joe again with the details.
In Puerto Vallarta, women battling cancer are once again facing a life-threatening crisis, this time due to a critical shortage of oncology medications at IMSS Clinic 42. On Wednesday, June 18th, the Red de Mujeres del Cinco Distrito in Jalisco publicly denounced the ongoing issue via social media, tagging national and local leaders including President Claudia Sheinbaum, Governor Pablo Limas, and IMSS Jalisco, demanding an immediate response. The group revealed that for yet another week, cancer patients were forced to buy their own medication, with costs ranging from 400 to 5,000 pesos per dose, not including the cost of mixtures and application. Quote, "This isn't just negligence, it's an indirect form of murder," end quote, the group stated, highlighting that many women simply cannot afford the medicine, putting their lives at risk. The shortage, they said, has continued for several weeks, severely disrupting treatment schedules. Despite IMSS being obligated to provide care, families are bearing the financial and emotional burden. And with cancer, delays in treatment can mean the difference between life and death. This is not an isolated case. Medicine shortages have been reported across Mexico. In response, President Sheinbaum announced she's holding talks with India for emergency pharmaceutical purchases. Still, for the women of Puerto Vallarta, the message is clear. They need solutions now, not promises later. With information from Guadalupe Cruz, Joe Wasik, CPS News.
Thanks, Joe. And attention, parents in Bahía de Banderas, starting now, minors caught violating traffic laws such as speeding or performing dangerous stunts like wheelies will no longer wait for their parents at roadside checkpoints. Instead, they will be taken directly to the local DIF offices in Bahía de Banderas. The new policy was announced by Karina Polanco, Deputy Director of Transit, who explained that this change is designed to curb the growing trend of risky behavior among teens riding motorcycles. In just 1 week of traffic operations, 31 minors were detained for riding without helmets, license plates, or performing reckless maneuvers. Authorities say many of these young riders are aware of their legal immunity and even mock the officers, often using illegally modified bikes with loud exhausts. Parents have also been part of the problem, reportedly taking up to 90 minutes to pick up their kids and showing irritation rather than concern. The hope is that by requiring parents to retrieve their children from these facilities, they will take the situation and the risks more seriously. Transit officers are now equipped with body cameras to document interactions and help educate both minors and their families. According to officials, this new measure will soon be legally reinforced to become a formal part of local traffic enforcement. Thank you so much, MGG, for this information.
So this is where I get to sound like an old guy. I'm not a parent, but y'all cut that out. You're going to crash and wreck and kill
so
yourself or someone else.
dangerous.
Stop wheeling down the street. I just saw 2 yesterday.
And I'm glad they're doing this because, yes, they need their parents, to get that bike away from them or give them some rules. This is not okay.
No, it's not good. It endangers you and it endangers everyone else, but they're not going to listen to me, so hopefully this new taking them to helps out. But with that, we're about to go on a break, but when we come back, we're going to have Voices of Vallarta. You're not going to miss it because Memo Wolf is here.
Oh, yeah, he is. We'll be back.
Welcome everybody to Voices of Vallarta, and as you know, this is our interview segment, and I'm sitting across from somebody probably many of you know. It is the chef that is right there in Versailles that all of us kind of love to eat your food. It's Memo Wolf, but Memo's not here to talk about food today. Actually, he's here to talk about Versailles Art Walk Workshop. Welcome to the show. So glad to have you today.
Gracias, Brent. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here. I'm very excited to be here and to talk about a little bit about this new thing that we have in Vallarta, in the Versailles area, but it's for everyone in town, in Vallarta.
I love it. Well, I'm also really excited to have you on. When I found out about a week ago you were going to be here, I was like, oh, I can't wait. I've had your food, but I've never got to sit down and talk with you. So let's just jump right into it. So first off, tell us more and tell the viewers more about the Versailles Art Walk Workshop and how is it different from the Art Walk we know down in Centro?
Mira, in Vallarta, we have a lot of art all over town, in the Malecon, in the middle of the streets, in every corner we have art. Vallarta had the Art Walk in downtown that brings a lot of people, but during the high season. In Versailles, we're trying to do a little bit different. In Versailles, we're always trying to be different than the rest of the bay, but the Art Walk, it has their workshops. So that's the difference about the regular Art Walks. We have the workshops and the art exhibitions.
Okay.
So you can have, in Versailles, we don't have any art gallery, but we have plenty of restaurants. So the restaurants, that's where the galleries are right now for this Art Walk workshop.
Yeah, I'm really interested to figure out what a workshop is about. We don't have a ton of time today, but definitely we can go and look at that. But honestly, I'm sure a lot of people are looking right over here right now saying, wait, art? That's Memo the chef, which is also a type of art and an artist. But how did you get involved? I mean, you're the guy that cooks for us, right?
Mira, it's a family. In my family, it's always been art. But also me as a chef, I like to teach. In these workshops, Art Walk workshops, we are teaching. Artists, they come and do their exhibitions and also teach. You can go every Thursday that we're doing it from 5 till 9, and then you can have art, workshop, food.
I love it. So you might end up making more artists out of this because they are going through a workshop and you're going to spark somebody's creativity or just get somebody who maybe wasn't, all about art, but they're going to get involved and they're going to get excited about it.
It's for everyone, for everyone. It's not only for grown-ups, it's for kids, it's for everyone.
So at a high level, why do you feel this is so important right now for the Versailles community?
We need more art, we need more culture, in all Vallarta and for locals. That's why we started in the slow season. So we can and do it every Thursday. So if you don't finish a workshop on Thursday, you can go back. Depends on the artist, depends on the workshop. But I think it's good for us, not only restaurants, not only bars, a little bit of art, and Vallarta has it, but we need more.
Yeah.
And I think for Versailles, it goes really, really good.
Yeah, so you're just not a guy with passion for cooking. You've got a lot of really art passion. I feel it, not only when we were talking before this segment, but right now. I mean, you really do have a lot of passion for art.
If you go to my restaurant, you will see lots of art.
Yes.
And from my family, in Vallarta, my family has a lot of art pieces. My grandma, my grandma's husband, etc., etc.
I love it. So I'm sure people watching right now are wondering, how can I find out more? How can I get involved? So what's the best way for people to learn more about the Art Shop Workshop and get involved and attend?
We are many restaurants participating in each website, in each media, internet. You will find the what's going on. Every week we're changing. Every week can be different. Every week you can find different exhibitions, different artists. So look in the participant restaurant. There are a few in the Versailles now participate. In each one is going to have their artist, because that's the other good thing, that you want to have option of many good artists and good exhibitions.
Awesome. Well, sadly, we're pretty much out of time now, but this was amazing. I want to put this on my calendar to come see it, and I want to come see you and the other artists, and maybe I'll learn how to draw a perfect square, or at least to start with the basics.
I hope to see everyone there. I hope to see you soon. It's a pleasure, and see you in the Art Walk Workshop Versailles.
Absolutely. So be sure to mark it on your calendars, everybody. Art Shop Workshop Versailles is every Thursday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's a perfect way to connect, get involved in Versailles. And Versailles is just an amazing neighborhood with so much art and great food, so you should do it anyways. So thank you for coming in, and for everybody else, be sure to tune in every week for Voices of Versailles. I'm just hooked on your neighborhood. Voices of Vallarta. And you too can be sitting right where Memo is at and just join us. So just come on in anytime. But for now, we've got to move on. And actually, Jesse has our next story for tonight.
A recent report by Gemini highlights the top 5 beaches in Bahía de Banderas, Nayarit, offering locals and visitors a perfect coastal guide. At number 1 is the famous Playa Escondida, also called Playa del Amor. Hidden inside the Marietas Islands, this magical beach is only accessible by swimming through a cave. Many call the experience surreal and unforgettable. Second is Sayulita, a favorite for surfers and free spirits. Known for its bohemian vibe and busy town, Sayulita is always full of life. Coming in third is Playa San Pancho, a peaceful beach with golden sand and beautiful sunsets. It's perfect for swimming, walking, and relaxing. Fourth is Playa La Manzanilla in La Cruz de Guanacaxtle. Its calm, shallow waters make it a great spot for families and kids. And at number 5, Playa Punta de Mita stands out for its luxury resorts, great food, and stunning views. A dream destination for those seeking peace and elegance. These 5 beaches show the rich variety of nature, adventure, and relaxation the Bahía de Banderas has to offer. With information from Adolfo Torres, Jesse Ruiz, CPS News.
Well, thanks, Jesse. I'm going to definitely keep a few of those beaches on my list. Those look amazing, and thank you for sharing that with us. Now, moving on, are you worried about your health and your well-being? Well, now is the time to take action. Hospital Hoya offers a full range of quality medical services, including comprehensive checkups, lab and imaging tests, specialist consultations, and 24-hour emergency care, as well as intensive care units, pediatric services, and much, much more. To learn more or to book an appointment, just call 322-226-1010 or 322-226-8181 and follow Hospital Hoya on social media for the latest offers and updates. Because your health and your family's health matters most. Hospital Hoya, committed to you. And here we are, and it is sports time. We're ready to kick this sporting thing off. Get
That's
it?
right, it's
Yes,
time.
we are.
Yeah.
What's up? A lot of, sporting events here locally.
Yeah, I think all the events are happening through the raindrops. So hopefully they all go well and continue that way even with the storms.
Maybe it's better to do maybe more water sports this time of year.
Absolutely. Well, we do have some water
That would be
sports
kind of
coming.
smart, I think.
Yes. Yeah. You better believe it, we've got sports. So good evening, Vallarta and the Bay, and welcome to your weekly sports update. Let's dive in. We've got amazing results from national competitions and young athletes that are showing serious potential. Let's kick it off. So, Puerto Vallarta's DIF hosted its first ever race for children, and it was a success. Families joined in for a fun and meaningful event that raised awareness and support for local youth. It was a morning full of movement, smiles, and purpose. A great example of how sport can bring people together for a cause. Now let's talk about Bahía de Banderas, where young athletes lit up the track at the Jalisco 2025 Youth Festival in Zapopan. Susana Montes grabbed gold in the 400 meters and silver in the 200. Mia Solis Torres took silver in the 100 and bronze in the 200. Jimena Monteon brought home bronze in the 100. And in high jump, Kelu Escobedo earned silver. U16 athlete Valentino Carrillo Hernandez came in second in the 300-meter hurdles. And in the elementary group, Aiten Escobedo Avena won gold in the 300 and silver in the 150 meters. Coaches are thrilled. Many of these athletes are strong contenders to represent Team Jalisco at the National Olympics. The team is already back in training, focused on the next challenge. Off to the ocean we go now, and the surf's up and the medals are in. Bahía de Banderas surfing team made history at the 2025 National Olympics, collecting an incredible 17 medals. This accomplishment is a major milestone for local athletes and confirms that our coastline is not just beautiful, it's home to world-class surfing talent. The achievement is expected to inspire more young surfers and further cement Bahía's reputation as a surf powerhouse in Mexico. And that wraps it up for this week's sports report. Whether it's ocean sports or track and field, it's clear that Bahía de Banderas and Puerto Vallarta are full of champions. Young, seasoned, and future ones too. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week with more success stories. Because here in the Bay, sports are more than games. They are a way of life. Jesse and Brent, back to you.
Thank you,
Wow.
Brent.
No, 17 medals. That's impressive.
I know, that's insane. That's so good.
We have a lot of-
Such a good team. Good
Yep.
surfing team.
The surfing community is huge and so
Yeah.
talented. I just think it's fun to go sit by the ocean and just watch them go.
Do
It's
it
so
all
cool.
the time. Yeah,
Nice.
it's a great time.
Very nice. Thank you so much for all that
All right.
information. Next up, a quick word from our sponsor, Mari Galante. Oh yeah, the legendary pirate ship Mari Galante is here and is waiting for you with a brand new, fully renewed, immersive pirate show. Incredible acrobatics, special effects, music, water activities, and an experience you will never forget. You can take an advantage of a limited time 45% off discount on the exclusive premium menu. You can savor the delicious beef medallion with lobster, filet mignon with shrimp, or irresistible vegetarian and vegan options like pirate-style lasagna or ratatouille. But that's not all. Your VIP menu includes a premium open bar with top shelf brands like Grey Goose, Don Julio, Jack Daniels, Bucanas, and many, many more. Plus, you can meet Josefino, the new pirate ship mascot, and do not forget to snap a selfie for the memories. Food, fun, and fantasy await you aboard. Book now at pirateshipvallarta.com and live the Marigalante experience like a true VIP pirate. Ahoy!
Sounds fun. And what a better way to do it than get a little discount. It's that time of year where things are a little bit cheaper for those who live here all the time. So go out, go sail with those pirates, even if they did take me hostage a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's okay. So 45% for the VIP or the premium experience, or the regular experience is 50% off, you guys. So
what a deal. So I know we're getting further into the newscast. Did you do some fun stuff this weekend?
This weekend, oh gosh, I don't remember, but I'm sure I did.
It's all a blur. I had a birthday party at Quinceañera. It was a great weekend. Had a good time. But enough about us. Let's move on. We're going to go to a commercial. We'll be right back with CPS News, the news that speaks your language. Welcome back, everybody, and we're getting really close to the entertainment segment, but you know what that means, Jesse. It means it's time for On This Day, but I changed mine a little bit.
Oh, you did really?
I did. You don't know about it. So usually we just like talk about ones that happen every year, like this is always National blah, blah, blah day. But instead I did some very specific things in time with the date and history.
Well, tell me about it.
I'm going to. So first of all, back in 1893, New Zealand granted women the right to vote.
Oh, well, kudos, New Zealand.
Good job. Yeah, good job, New Zealand. You were way ahead of the curve. Nicely done. But in 1960, now we fast forwarded quite a bit, the FDA approved the very first birth control pill.
Oh, wow. That was not very long ago, actually.
No,
if you think about it.
It's shocking. Yeah, thank you, 1960, for that.
Anything else?
I do have one more, and I remember this one because I'm actually alive for this one. In 1989, Tim Burton released his Batman movie to theaters with amazing fervor. I remember the marketing and the Prince songs, and it was huge. It was huge. You were probably too young to remember it.
That's cool.
Yeah, but it was amazing. We were all bat crazy in '89, and the movie came out, and it was awesome.
Well, let me tell you what I found.
Please do.
Today is International Widows Day.
That's an uplifting one. International Widows Day. So
for some, it might be really great. For some, not so great.
Okay, so International Widows Day. Okay, what else you got?
And it's also the International Woman Scientist Day. Ooh. So congratulations to Laura Lane.
Congratulations to my wife for being the scientist. That she always gets mentioned when there's a science thing going on in dengue. So thank you so much for that.
And of course also congratulations to any other scientist that's a woman, and that's here in Puerto Vallarta.
Absolutely. All right, now it's time for that event calendar we told you about. And this week, it's presented by
Barbara Lapointe.
That's right, BLP is back. Let's go and get your calendars ready.
Get ready for one of the biggest traditions in Mexican rodeo, the 34th annual Mango Charro Championship. Manuel Pardo Velasco edition is coming to Arena Riviera Nayarit in San Jose del Valle, June 26th to June 29th. Watch the very best teams from Nayarit, Jalisco, Sinaloa, and the U.S. compete in breathtaking charro action. 4 days of family fun, culture, and adrenaline. Don't miss it. The Mango Championship 2025. It's almost here. Get ready to move your body, Vallarta! La Catrina Cantina invites you to an epic dance competition series with 5,000 pesos in prizes. Show off your rhythm and style in 3 sizzling categories. June 22nd, bachata. June 29th, salsa. And July 6th, modern dance. All happening Sunday nights at 9:30 p.m. in the heart of the romantic zone. Great music, electrifying energy, cash prizes, drinks, and surprises. Ready to hit the dance floor? Register now on WhatsApp at 322-274-1805. La Catrina Cantina is where Vallarta comes to dance. Ladies, start your engines. Join the women's only ride to San Pancho this Saturday, June 28th, hosted by Jürgen Vallarta. Meet up at 6 p.m. at Jürgen Vallarta and ride out with an empowering crew of female bikers for a scenic coastal adventure to San Pancho. This isn't just a ride, it's a movement. Grab your helmet, fuel your freedom, and be part of something unforgettable. Ride a San Pancho exclusively for women. Calling all dance companies, artists, and collectives. Cultura Jalisco invites you to apply for the 2025 International Dance Festival, taking place October 18th to November 1st. Submit your dance proposal from contemporary to performative styles and be part of this powerful creative platform. Go to the Cultura Jalisco Facebook page for detailed information. Do you know someone truly outstanding? If so, nominate them for the Jalisco Award 2025. It honors individuals with extraordinary contributions in culture, science, environment, labor, sports, or civic impact. Celebrate excellence with us and help shine a light on remarkable Jaliscensias making a difference. Want to start a business or sharpen your entrepreneurial vision? Then join the Business Identity and Formation Workshop. It's completely free from June 23rd to 26th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Learn how to build or boost your brand with Soy Canoscope. Space is limited. Register now and take the first step. Okay, well, that's a wrap for this week. Stick around for more news.
Thanks, Barbara. Great events, a little bit of everything this summer. And guys, this event section was brought to you by our sponsor, Don Coco in Marina Vallarta. Let's check them out.
On Coco Restaurant Bar, freshness isn't just a detail, it's the heart of everything we do. Every dish is made to order. Vibrant ceviches, perfectly spicy aguachiles, and micheladas so cold they feel like a hug from the sea. Located right in front of Marina Vallarta's most beautiful pier, Don Coco has it all. Breathtaking ocean views, feel-good vibes, bold flavors, and an atmosphere that hooks you from the very first sip. And if you're lucky, you might just bump into the legendary Don Coco himself. Our 2-for-1 Margarita Happy Hour, and be sure to try the cocktails that are becoming the talk of Vallarta. Find us in Proa, Local 18, corner of Yates in Marina del Rey. Call or WhatsApp to order ahead, 322-688-1887. Don Coco, where bold flavor begins and the good vibes of Vallarta come alive.
Okay, be sure you check out Don Coco. Our very own Jesse Reese says there, micheladas are muy bien. Okay, moving on. Cirque du Soleil and Vedanta have teamed up to bring Ludo, which is a new aquatic show to Vedanta World Nueva Vallarta. The new show premieres December 12, 2025 and marks Cirque du Soleil's first water-based performance since their famous Las Vegas production. Ludo will be the star attraction at Bon, Latin America's first luxury theme park. With more than 300 shows a year, it blends circus, arts, storytelling, high-tech visuals, and fine dining into a full sensory experience. The story follows Ludovico, a theater director, diving into a mystical cenote in search of lost creativity, a powerful metaphor for rebirth and emotional connection. Set inside a 27-meter-tall lotus-shaped theater with 360-degree views of the state-of-the-art sound, Ludo promises breathtaking water performance paired with a gourmet menu from Chef Alexis Bastelman. Thank you so much, Adolfo Torres, for that story. And I know, again, it is Nuevo Nayarit. I'm just following along here.
Well, that sounds really fun. Our very own Vegas show. Now, in our next story tonight, officials announced the state will join NYC Pride later this month, showcasing its commitment to inclusive tourism with a big presence in the parade and related events. Here's Maria again with the details.
after Puerto Vallarta proudly led Mexico's LGBTQ+ presence at New York City Pride in 2024, the spotlight now turns to the state of Jalisco. Michelle Friedman Hirsch, head of Jalisco's tourism department, has announced that the state will participate in NYC Pride on June 29th, promoting Jalisco as Latin America's leading inclusive tourism destination. The campaign kicks off on June 27th at Heritage, the official NYC Pride Party, with a Jalisco-branded activation space reaching an estimated 700,000 people online. Then on Sunday, Jalisco joins the massive NYC Pride March, which is expected to draw over 2.3 million spectators. The state will debut a float featuring monumental Jalisco letters, a mariachi band, and influencers with a combined following in the millions. Jalisco will also have a presence at Pride Fest, engaging with over 250,000 attendees and showcasing the region's commitment to diversity, inclusion, and tourism. This move builds on the path forged by Puerto Vallarta in 2024, when it led a Mexican delegation during NYC Pride as part of a symbolic sisterhood between both city celebrations. With LGBTQ+ tourism accounting for 5 to 7% of Mexico's tourism GDP and average spending of $1,700 per traveler, this is not just a message of pride, it's a strategic step toward inclusive economic growth. With information from Miguel González Guerra, Maria Ammerman, CPS News.
Nice. Now, here's Rodrigo again with our next story tonight, which is a tasty one.
Vallarta's flavor shine at Renace el Sabor culinary contest in Mercado Emiliano Zapata. The rich, authentic flavors of Puerto Vallarta's traditional cuisine took center stage on Saturday, June 14 at the Renace el Sabor culinary competition held inside the bustling Mercado Emiliano Zapata. In a festive and aroma-filled atmosphere, local chefs from various fondas within the city's public markets showcased their culinary talent. Crowds cheered as La Fondita de Marina took home first place with their mouth-watering tatemada-style pork ribs, a dish that won over the judge with its bold flavor and flawless execution. La Cocina de Don Toño claimed second place with a creative twist on pork trotters in aguachile, while Cocina de Maruso secured third with a delectable shrimp-stuffed chile relleno that also earned praise from attendees. The event, which drew both locals and tourists, was elevated by vibrant folkloric dance performances that celebrated the region's cultural roots. But more than a contest, Renace el Sabor was part of a broader initiative to revitalize Vallarta's traditional markets and highlight their vital role in the local economy and culinary heritage. Daniel Alarcón, head of municipal markets, praised the participants and reaffirmed that the city... Daniel Alarcón, head of municipal markets, praised the participants and reaffirmed the city's commitment to strengthening these iconic community spaces. Our goal is to ensure that markets remain living centers of culture and economic development, he said. City Councilwoman Marcia Bañuelos echoed this sentiment, noting that many vendors... City Councilwoman Marcia Bañuelos echoed this sentiment, noting that many vendors have expressed concern over declining food sales. These types of events, she said, are designed to draw more visitors and boost activity inside the markets. The day wrapped up with a sense of pride and celebration, reminding everyone that Vallarta's markets aren't just places to eat. They're heartbeats of tradition, community, and culinary artistry. With information from Fernando Bojorquez, Rodrigo López Becerril, CPS News.
So I'm so sad that I missed that food event, the Mercados. It was fantastic. It looks like so. Maybe next year.
We can't make it to everything, everybody, but we really want to. We really enjoy it. So if you've got an event coming up and you would like us to make an appearance there and come, talk about it and just have a good time, hit us up on our website. And we're always so happy to come out and hang out with you guys and just have a great time.
Yes, we are. But for now, we are done. We got to go. Thank you so much for staying with us and for getting your information from CPS News, the news that speaks your language.